What's it like to get that call?
Yeah, it's fun. You want to be in those situations, and just to be here, it's fun, and just want to help the way I can.
The fact you've played 2 playoff games, does that help if you play tonight? Yeah, you seem like you should be ready to jump right in.
Yeah, I feel good. We'll just see after warm up.
I know you've been busy, but have you been able to watch any of the first 2 games and any takeaways?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 periods of each game. Obviously, we played the day after, and games are so late, so I go to bed after the second. But no, it bounced a little bit more on their side, but I think we just need one. We just got to stick with it.
How do you manage your emotions in a day like today where you're not sure? Maybe you know, I don't know, but if you're not sure if you're in, are you going to be able to sleep?
Oh yeah, I had a great sleep. I don't know if the experience from last year, being around the team in the same situation, helped me, but I remember last year I was kind of nervous, but now I lived through that last year, and now I just have a good routine, and I try to do the same thing as what I do in Cedar Park. So it just helped me to stay focused, and at the end of the day, just a hockey game.
What went well for you this season?
Confidence. I think it's a huge factor for every player. You gotta trust your game. That's what I'm doing. I trust my game. It's another step, especially in playoff, but I trust my game. I know what I can do.
How does how Neil Grimm has you guys playing down in Texas help you when you come up here to assimilate to how they want to play?
Yeah, we have pretty much the same system, maybe old tricks, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's a hockey game, and I've been playing that for a while, and I think with the experience I had last year, it helped me to feel confident right now, and whenever I jump in a game or not.
What did the game in Chicago help you with?
Yeah. This was one of the main points why I was hoping to get a game before playoff. You don't want to be a distraction around the team playing your first NHL game, and maybe they think a little bit more about you. But the fact that my first one is done, and now I'm part of this team, and whether I'm in or not, I will be ready.
Have you ever watched games in this building on TV, or it seems like a really crazy building?
Like I said, last year I was here for Game 5. So I know what it's like. I did a warm-up. It's not a game, but I did a warm-up, and I know what it's like. So I think it can help me along the way.
I was asking Jake, is it actually kind of fun? I mean, I know they're trying to distract you with the showgirls and everything like that, but a lot of times as a visitor, you're kind of laughing at them and thinking this is great.
Yeah, I heard of that, but I was so focused last year, though. I didn't really realize that. Yeah.
Perfect. Obviously, I did ask that. Obviously, a big game, Game 3. You're down 2-0. What is the feeling? Do you think about all that, or do you just try and focus on the first shift? A little of everything.
Both, yeah. So obviously aware of the situation, but at the same time, just had a good morning skate and prepare yourself for tonight.
When you look and break down stuff, a lot of experts have said shot chances or scoring chances are like 29-17 for you guys. You're doing a lot of things right. How do you capitalize on those or keep doing the things right?
I mean, gotta stick to it. But I mean, at the same time, obviously we can, I think, improve a little bit more to obviously change the score. So still create those chances, but then kind of put it back in the net in a higher percentage.
Lines have been pretty consistent for the most part this season. You might see some changes tonight. Can that provide a spark, even if they're because of injury?
Sure, yeah. I mean, sometimes it works. I mean, that could be maybe more towards the coaches than towards them, but I mean, it's just I'm being fine playing whoever. So I mean, if they feel something needs to be changed, it's fine for us.
What's it like to go through warm-ups here with the showgirls and the big? I mean, it's a unique experience as far as going into a visiting arena.
Yeah, it's for sure different than the other arenas, but I mean, that's kind of normal already. They've been around for many years already, so it's nothing new. And I like them.
I was thinking it'd be relaxing. It makes you smile, I'm
I like
sure.
the tunes and everything.
Yeah.
It's loud here in the warm-ups, and it's like the atmosphere is good. So
Part of your job is to help your teammates, and it just seems like now is a good time to be doing that. And I think, with practices, you and I think Robo do a lot of things. You and some of the younger players, I think you help them a lot. How important is that right now, your role in getting ready for a playoff game?
I think first of all, it's kind of keeping the mood light. I mean, we know how good of a team we are, and at any point in those first 2 games, it could have went the other way. So that's, a nice thing with the mentality in the room is, we know we're right there. It's not like you've been dominated and facing an unclimbable mountain. But, I try and keep it light. I think we've joked about putting a right-handed glove on me for practice to give them a look that the southpaw has on the other side. But, extra shots, little extra jokes here and there. I think, that emotional support goalie has been a term been thrown around a little bit throughout the year, and hope any way I can help. I think that's the nice thing about the guys. They come and ask questions. What do you see? I was there. I saw this. What do you think of this shot? Or different situations. And I pride myself on being a safe space for a guy struggling or a guy who's on an absolute streak looking for any sort of advice. So. It's a nice perk to have, I think, for the team, and anyone that has a question, I'm always around and helping.
Without pumping your tires too much, you do have a great advantage. I mean, you see the game at the ice level, and you really can talk to them and say, "Hey, I saw this," or "I saw that." And your experience, you've done this a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's reciprocated well. I've talking to Dutchie against the St. Louis game. He came off the power play, mentioned to him, and grabbed the iPad in intermission. I showed him what I saw, and he was very reciprocal. He said, honestly, I didn't see that. And it's something that can help them score at any point in time or give them an advantage in any sense of the game. It's obviously what I'm here to help and do, and if anything can help us win a game, like I said, put on a right-handed glove if I have to.
This is just my theory, but I know they're trying to distract opponents with the showgirls and everything. I think it kind of loosens you up. I think the warm-ups here are fun for the visiting team.
Yeah, they, I think they try and look at you. They try and bang the glass. They're dancing, I think, the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. I mean, it's a unique experience.
Yeah, I haven't started here in a long time, since probably the Arizona days. But it's funny, you miss the net the odd time and hit the glass. But yeah, I think we come in here and make a couple of jokes about it. Doesn't feel like a distraction in any means. No. It's just sometimes a conversation topic on what you see out there. There's usually some creative outfits and different people, but I think we do a good job. It's a show city for a reason, and it's a fun place to play. So hopefully the boys are amped up to do it again tonight.
Any updates on the injuries to Foxa or Marchment?
Game time decisions, both.
Okay. As philosophically speaking, if you have to make moves, is there any problem with changing every line, or do you want to try and keep lines together and just sub in guys here and there?
I think it depends on the situation. If it's one guy, I think. Listen, we've tried to keep our combinations consistent most of the year. We've had really good success. We haven't finished, but the underlying numbers show there's opportunities, that we have had opportunities. In a series where we all knew that the opportunities weren't going to be like they were during the regular season, they're going to be a lot fewer and farther between. That doesn't mean, our guys haven't been effective. So, I think you've got to be careful on overreacting to the situation. I think, but everything's on the table depending on injuries. So,
If Mavrik plays tonight, what can you hope to see from him in a first playoff game?
Yeah. Well, one, I have no reservation putting him in. I'm glad we got him in a game late in the season. He deserved it. He had a great year in the American League. At the same time, you got to be careful. He's not coming to save our season. He's a really good young player that's going to be a great player for a long time, that has one NHL game of experience in Chicago, late in the season. So I have no problem putting him in the lineup, but our expectations on, what he's going to be able to. Nick?
Just wondered if Jim Nill reminded you about Detroit in 2002 for a little inspiration.
Yeah, Jim's the great part about Jim is he's either been in or seen every situation there is in hockey, including that one, and he did bring that up. You know, we don't even have to go that far back. I think we talked to our group a little bit, you know, as recent as last year, Jersey and the Rangers. You know, I think you couldn't have had a more lopsided first two games, you know, in favor of the Rangers, and you know, you saw how that series ended up. So, you know, we've got to come out and win a game, and you know, we haven't been dominated. We have, you know, the games have been razor thin. They could have gone either way, both of them. We've got to find a way to get on the right side of those margins.
You've been both the visitor and the home guy in this building. What are the warm-ups like? It just seems really intense.
Yeah, it's great. You know, a great building like Dallas. You know, great energy, crowds into it. Fantastic place to play. As a visitor, you have to manage the momentum that the building can create. You know, after shifts, after goals. You know, after, you know, maybe you've taken on some water for a couple shifts in a row, that can really build in this building when the crowd gets into it. So that's a part that we have to be aware of, is managing momentum in here when it swings against us.